Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm going to show you, basically you put an M54 into a 1.8 chassis that's after, I think it's like 53 plate 04. They come with this 2-plug ECU and we need to change to this 5-plug ECU. So I'm going to show you how to do it, show you how I do it, show you what to do, what to look out for and what not to do and doing the swap. So first of all, when you take this ECU away, you want one of the plugs that's left on this here. So I've already done mine, but this is just a dummy plug, right? So you want this to be left on the car. So what you need to do with this, once I find my ticket, 1 minute. So on this plug here, I'll change the zoom. On this plug here, you want to be left with just the grey plug. So you need to take this part out of here to be able to extract the grey plug. So there's a couple of wee tabs in here that you need to push down and back to be able to unlock this to get rid of that bit. And then there's a wee tab just there. If you lift that up, you'll be able to get the grey plug out. And that's the plug that you're going to be left with on the chassis. So you're going to wire this part of the plug up here to this plug off the M54. That plug there is going to wire up to this plug here. What not to do, do not cut this plug off. Why? Because in here there is 2 white-green wires. Right, if you put them the wrong way, it fries the ECU. Talking from experience, the very first time I done this, the guy who brought me the car to wire up, the plugs were already cut off. So, learning curve. So there's two white with green stripes, right? There's also 2 black with purples. So the white with green stripes, one is for pedal, one is for process right rear speed signal. On the other 2 that's the same, there's 2 black purples. One black purple is EWS and one black purple is going to switch on the fuel pump relay. It triggers the fuel pump relay when the key is turned, sort of thing. So I'm going to walk you through this and how to do it, the right approach to do it and stuff like that, just so you didn't get caught out. And I noticed there's no information online about these things. I read into forums there. I had a quick look before I made up a diagram for you guys, and basically I found a guy who showed you, he just showed you basically like 1.8 pin 1 went to pin 7 on that, and I went doing all his stuff and he had like 4 wires in the wrong place. If you follow something like that, you're going to blow up the ECU and you're going to need an ECU and stuff like that. So I'm going to get you into this now. What you need to do is when you take the M54 out your donor car, everything is going to be the same. Everything's going to go in. The only thing that you're going to have issues with is plugging that into that. There's another couple of wee things I need to walk you through as well, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you outside and show you what you need to do on an E46. So 1 minute, I'll take you outside. So here we are outside an E46. It's been raped for its engine. So you need this. I usually cut that off the body away down there, right down there. I usually just take these ones as well, to be fair. So I have all these plugs, just these 3. The ECU plug and the 2 side plugs that talk to the car. You've got a 4-pin plug here and you've got an 8-pin plug here. Take the 3 plugs with you and let's go back inside. So here I have a printout for an MS43 ECU, which is my 5-plug ECU that we're going to use, and at this side of it, here, this is the pin numbers on the chassis of the 1.8 car that had the 2-plug ECU. I've just been over this, double checked it and stuff like that, and other things that we're going to refer to in this video is the 6011 plug, which is the 6011 plug, which is the 8-pin plug on the body, and the 6021, which is the 4-pin plug on the body, which is basically, there's your 6011 for the 6-pot chassis, right? And this one is your 6021. This is actually off the guy's old engine, because I'll tell you why. Because this engine was from an automatic, so I put a manual gearbox on it, right? So, on the ECU box that I've got for this 1.8, right here, I'm not going to use this because this was automatic. If you see, this thing holds the relay here, see that? The one with the blue, yellow and the green, white. That's a switch, the green light is a switch live to the reverse switch, and when you push it into reverse, the power comes out the blue, yellow and triggers the reverse lights. So this was from automatic, right? So this is the reverse switch from his 1.8 engine that you can see in that pile there. So you've got his reverse switch here, which is going to come up and plug it into the body loom there. So I'm going to bypass the one on the car. However, on the 1.8 chassis, the wake up ECU is actually pin 1 in here, when on the other, it's actually pin 4, sorry. See, this pin is blank, but this one has actually got a wake up ECU on his body side. And since I'm not going to use this plug, I have depinned this, because I'm going to put that into my plug here, because I've had to cut that one off his loom. So what this does technically, when you wake up ECU with this wire, once the main relay comes alive in the relay box, it sends this power back inside the car, and this makes the fuel pump relay and the aircon relay come alive. So when the fuel pump's triggered, it'll come on its cell. And when you trigger aircon, the aircon's going to come on. I've got to set the camera up again and show you what way to start tackling the wire. Right, so we're going to fucking, let me swearing on YouTube already, mate. Right, we're going to take these out of here. If you see here, there's like a wee slot there and a wee slot there, and that'll get these plugs out. So we'll take the grey one out. That's pins 1 to 20, and the black is 21 to 40. Any other time I do this, I would actually say start with pedal wires, right? But since I've got the diagram right, and if you follow this the way I do it, then you should be mint. So, we'll start with the grey plug, and I'm going to start with pin 4 because we didn't use 1, 2, pin 3 is only used on some motors. I didn't have that pin, so we're going to start on pin 4. Locate pin 4 here, and it says it goes to pin 8, so we're going to pin 8 here. Hello, where is pin 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you'll probably find that half these numbers and pins, whatever I'm telling you, the colours actually match on them. So that pin is black green. Where is it? Black green to black green. Hey Connor.
Aye.
What colour is it?
Black green, black green.
What you said. And you want to solder these. Actually, I was looking at forums right see before you came, and I was having a look at the forums for to look at how they'd done diagrams. There was a guy sitting there, you should have seen his ECU, mate, there's like 40 bullet connectors in it. I'm just like actual died inside my body watching that, like. Mate, these wire strippers are shit. This is why I always use snips.
Yeah, shit, you got a fucking job with them doing.
Can you adjust them or that? What's this for?
I'm not here. You've got a fucking.
What is that for?
I think I tighten them up a bit. No, every time I use them, I've got a hood like that bit done.
What, this bit?
Hold
that down? Oh, fuck that. Let me get a set of snips. Take them with fuck, mate. I never use these things, man. That's why. You can't beat a set of snips, like. What I usually do here, I like connect 6 wires, then solder 6 wires, then just keep going. But I'm going to work for the low numbers on the MS43 to the high numbers, and then whatever, if that's obviously that was pin 4 on the new ECU, but that was pin 8 on the old ECU. So I'm going to go doing my numbers for 1 to 40 on this side. But just as I go down here, I've obviously my next pin is pin 7 here on this new ECU to pin 10 on the old ECU. So I'm going to go and get pin 7 on the grey. So it was 4, 5, 6, 7. Pin 7, which is this guy, which is brown green, which is a pedal wire. And she says pin 10. 10 pin bowling. Pin 10 bowling. Econo. 13, 12, 11, 10. Pin 10. This guy here. I'm going pin 10 bowling, the more are you coming? Would you come? So technically anyway, right, the wires, the way the wires are in here, we're actually doing the 6 pedal wires. So I'll do 7 wires, right, because that means we've done coolant fan is 1, and then the next 6 wires is, aye, let's do 8, because the next 3 wires, which is this pin 10, these are all pedal wires, and you've got signal fuel pump relay, 3 pedal wires again. So we'll just do 8 wires and I'll solder, right? So I'm telling lies. That's alright. That's the truth. Where is he? Right. So that's pin 4 done, pin 7 done. So now we've got a pin 8 here, which is straight light for a pedal. And he says pin 20 on old. 20, 15, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, straight white, yeah. Pedals colour match too. Next, straight yellow on number 9. Number 9 goes to number 11. It's a bit ironic, eh? Eh?
What's that?
Pin 9 goes to 11. What's the number for 911?
The police.
Right, pin 9. And pin 11. So 13, 12, 11. Straight yellow. Right, pin 10, fuel pump activation for me, and he goes to pin 22 on the old ECU plug. Right, 10, 22. So we go 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Hello. How you got to get the van home if you're driving that thing home the day corner?
I'm coming down Sunday with Josh. I'll get him a drive.
What, you just got, what? Oh, you just get brought in for the van, like?
Well, we're going to come down to the drift car.
Yeah.
So, I'll probably get him to pick me up.
Why is there a voltmeter and that sitting on the 320D engine?
Huh?
Why is there a voltmeter sitting on the 320D engine? You've been pissed out of the drift car?
Oh, right, no, it was what used to be on the V8.
Alright.
I was like, minded the battery light doesn't work on this.
Right.
So I was like, I can't put one there.
Right. So pin 12 on me, which is another pedal wire. Pin 12 to pin 23. Pin 23, 26, 25, 24, 23. Pin 13, another pedal wire, which is green and white. So what's that, 13 for me, pin 7 for the car. Green and white, not to be confused for speed signal, green and white. This is usually why I start doing the pedal wires first, but if you do it this way you'll be alright. As long as you know that, like, that pin came out of 13, right? So pin 13 clearly says here it's a pedal wire, right? And the colour matches on this side, but the colour actually matches on this side to the speed signal. But as long as you know your wire come out what we're dealing with here, so what was that, 13, pin 13 to pin 7. Right, pin 13 to 7, the colour's going to match, but the colour would match if you just picked the colour out of thin air and went, oh that's green and white, let's connect it. You've got to be do yourself an ECU. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this guy here. But at the same time you probably find the pedal wires are all kind of like next to each other. So really you can't go wrong, but somebody's went wrong before and I definitely have. Right, so I told another lie, right, because I says that we've got to do the pedal wires plus the cooling fan, right, but see one more wire finishes this grey plug. I thought two, I'm fucking still telling lies. Right, so pin 11, 12, 13, pin 14, the last pedal wire. If you got your MS40 free plug, if you got that off a E39 or an X5, whatever, that's actually got the speed signal wire on them is yellow green, which then it clashes with yellow green on the pedal, because you have pedal wires which is straight white, straight brown, straight yellow, and then they cross over to be a white with a green, a yellow with a green, and a brown with a green. So that could clash with speed signal if it was an E39. Right, so if that was 14 for me, pin 14 to pin 24. So 24 here now. Which there is only one, so 26, 25, 24. There is only one yellow green on this one because this isn't an E39. When is that thing going for matting anyway, Connor?
Saturday.
Wait, this Saturday?
Sorry, no, next Saturday, sorry.
Where are you going, mate?
Cytec.
Cytec. Wait, Ogilvy and Gav or what?
Just Ogilvy.
Aye. Ogle gasket.
Cytec. David, 900 horsepower and blow bring up.
What?
David, 900 horsepower, blow bring up.
Aye. Right, so like I says, to finish this plug all we've got is RPM, that's one half of the plug done, and then we can start doing that. But when I go to solder, I think I'll just time lapse it, because we're already been here 15 minutes already of me talking shite. Right, so 17 engine speed signal goes to pin 21 on here, and that's a straight black to a straight black. The colours make sense. Straight black, go straight black, huh? What did I say? Pin 21. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Black.
We didn't fucking time lapse anything today.
I'm going to do a time lapse for the soldering bit. I'll stop time lapsing when there's something important I need to tell you or whatever.
Alright.
No, you. I'm talking to my phone. Shut up. Right, so grey plug complete. Easy as that. I'll time lapse, solder, and then I'll start doing the rest of these. I've got every wire accounted for on this bar pin 13, but on the diagram I've got it says pin 13 isn't used, which is weird, and the colour to me doesn't really make sense either, so I'm going to leave that. I'll come back to it if need be, but I have tagged it with a bit of tape just so I know, but every other wire on this plug is accounted for. And I think I have one left on this that's not accounted for, but I'll go over that at the end. So I'm going to time lapse you now, and I'm going to solder these, and then I'm just going to time lapse doing the rest of them, except I've got 3 wires which go to these side plugs, which I says to you I'm going to refer to them as X6011 and X6021. We'll cover that bit shortly, but I'm doing the main ECU plug now, so let's go time lapse. Right, so I've not got a bar time lapsing because there's a couple of bits I need to go over. That's us onto this plug, but I'll time lapse when I do solder because I don't want to make the video too long. But I'd rather you got all the details on this when we're doing it. So that's us onto the black side of the plug, right, which is pins 21 to 40. So we're just going to go through these one by one. I'll say, we'll go, obviously still going up the numbers, so I'm going to go pin 22, which is signal, process, wheel speed, sensor, rear right. Everybody always argues with me that it's not the right rear speed signal that actually makes the cloaks work on this, but it says it in the diagram, so here's one for you. Fuck you. Right, because there's a couple of wires in here that, like off of this plug, that don't go to this ECU plug. They'll go to one of the side plugs, so I really just got to follow me doing that. So 22, and we're talking 17 here. 14, 15, 16, 17, and this is the one, green, white. This is the ones that we were talking about. You notice that every time I cut a wire here, I kind of untangle it, but I'll tape these up later. I'll show you what I do with it. Right, so what we got? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do 9 wires this time, then I'll solder. And that 9 wires is all going to go this ECU plug to this ECU plug, and there's 1, 2, 3 wires that's going to go to a side plug. So we'll do all the ECU wires to the body plug wires, and then I'll show you the ones that go to the non-ECU plug. We'll do them separate. One is like OBD, one is when you trigger aircon, it triggers down this side plug. I'll go into that shortly too, because this car's a road car, it's not a drift car. I want everything working. So that this guy, the guy who owns the car, is a really nice guy. It's a road car, the thing's really clean, and I'd rather keep the aircon working for him. So I've been inside sussing it all out where everything goes and stuff like that, but I'll walk you through that bit when we get to that bit. Right, so that was 22. '23 is clutch switch, right? This car doesn't have a clutch switch, right? This should be blue and grey, right? So I'm using the EWS wire. I've put it into this pin though, because I'm not using EWS because I've got a demobilised ECU. So I've just put that pin in there because it didn't have a clutch switch, but it has got a clutch switch now. The wires didn't match up colour wise on my plug, but the one on yours should be blue grey for clutch switch, which is pin 23 here. And then pin 12 on the old guy. What? One to 13. How can it be? Somebody's made a boo-boo.
Was it you?
It must have been. Right, 2 seconds. I fucked up. Man, I fucked up because it's actually pinned. How am I to do that? Clutch switch is 12. I must have counted the pins wrong. So on this one it says clutch switch, signal clutch switch, 18. Aye, it is 18. How the fuck did I get to 12 then? I think I've pulled the wire through for the other side and counted it wrong. What a dumbass. Right, we'll fix that on the diagram before I get to use cunts. Right, so what was I saying? Pin 18, clutch switch, 18. So where's my pen? Where's my bookie pen? Huh? Clutch switch. It's actually 18. 18. Because there isn't a pin 12 fucking reprobate. Right, so clutch switch, which was him, and I know this is clutch switch because it's blue grey, and I kind of fucked up because there isn't even a pin 12 there. I don't know how I managed that.
You're stupid.
Ah, me stupid. Everything is awesome. But see before I actually done this diagram, right, I was on that forum and I had a look, right, and that guy just had a bit of paper that had, on one side it was like the 1.8 ECU, on the other side it had thingy, right, so I started going down them and I was like reading my two diagrams and making sense of them, and I was like, I kind of lost where I was, and I've ended up putting...
Oh, you've done some from the forepart?
I've bounced back and forth to my diagram and his diagram to see if he was right, and there was like, he had like 4 pedal hinges round the wrong way and someone else was wrong, and he had engine RPM signal gone to OBD wire.
Alright.
So good luck to anybody who's following that guy, because he's definitely going to fuck you up.
Funny how the great away similar that 330 is and this 330 is.
What?
The wiring, like
Colour-wise,
it's all the same.
It's the same, the colours match through, even though you've got different ECU plug, like all these colours actually match.
See when you were saying, oh fucking like don't cross them over or you'll measure yourself on ECU, I was like, I did that last week almost.
Because
when you're like Santinos, I didn't
because there's two white greens and there's 2 black purples.
I'm sure it was brown green.
There's 2 brown green too, because brown green's oil on them.
Yep.
That's diesel, that's different. Brown green's oil, but the oil on this one goes through a side plug, therefore you can't mix it up. It's already plug and play at that part. Because you're wiring the ECU plug to it, it's different. Where on this ECU, I've only got 1 brown green and it's pedal only. Where my other brown green for oil pressure goes through the side plug. The diesel one's a wee bit different, but there's loads of similarities. But in every other sense, right, all the colours make sense in wires. I mean, your pedal wires, you've got a white, a yellow and a brown. And they wires follow through with a white green, a brown green and a yellow green. And that's your 6 pedal wires, that's the colours for them. But that's what I'm saying, you can't mix up the white green with the speed signal.
Yeah, totally, aye.
Because it fries the ECU. Ask me how I know. The very first one it got done. Kid you with the ECUs, eh?
Oh really, aye? The very first one you done, aye?
The very first one I done, because the guy brought the car to me, I'd done the engine swap and all I heard was a bunch of wires in here. So I managed to go in...
Was that the very first one that you wired up?
Yes.
I think I remember, I think we were doing
Remember I had to get Les up with the code reader for to do the reset adaptations, and it rev for 2 seconds and cut out. Once I put an ECU in it was fine, but we had to work out why the wires went with the green and white. So that's why I say never cut this plug off. Never cut it off. Take 1 wire out at a time. Right, so what's this? Pin 21, 22, 23, 24, pin 24. Brake light switch. Which is blue-red, which makes sense because it's blue-red. I'm not looking for a pin this time, I'm just looking for blue-red, which is here. We'll just call that 1, 2, 3, pin 4. Hello, pin 4.
Me you're looking for?
Mango, pineapple, banana.
What a good video that is.
Yeah?
What a good video that is. That's funny.
Right, the next one in line is to wake up the ECU, but I'm going to come back to that one because this one doesn't go to that ECU plug, it doesn't wake up for there, but we'll come back to that. Right, so that was pin 26, because I know pin 26 wakes up the ECU. Again, pin 27, data link multifunction steering wheel, we're going to come back to that. That's a question mark now, we'll get to that. Judging by the wire colour, this is a brake light test switch, pin 27, pin 28, signal brake light test switch. Right, pin 27, 27, 16, colours will match. 14, 15, 16, colours do match. You know telling lie. I sure see when I used to give cunts advice about doing this, I used to say, right, the first 60, what is it? Like the first 16 wires are like colour to colour, and the rest of the description match, but they're all colour to colour really. I actually had a guy message me and he says that he had followed somebody else's diagram, and so you knew after looking at that thing on the forum, it was definitely that guy's thing. He was like,
I've no idea if you're talking to me at times or talking to that, I'm
no,
like,
two
should I look up or no?
2 pedal wires or so, 4 pedal wires the wrong way round.
Alright.
He's like, I followed this, and I read it and tried to make sense of it. I lost myself in it, because it says like 21 there to 4 there and 7 there to 19 there, and I'm like, fuck off, it wasn't my job, I wasn't doing it, I'm not helping you mate, fuck off. He was messing at night time too, so I was sitting playing the sim and he was just plaguing me with bullshit, and I'm like, not today, officer.
So, see, because you're filming this shit, right, is this, like, where you go, like, 4 times, so this is the first start up? Nope, right, try again.
no me.
Because this is the first start up?
Pin 29, also gone to a separate plug, so we'll come back and cover that shortly. Right, so other side, 30, 31, 32, we're going to come back to that. Now we've got the 2 CAN wires, which do get connected up. These are colour to colour, so I'm literally just going to snip these straight off. One's yellow red, one's yellow brown. What are you looking for?
Got it. I was trying to be considerate.
Yeah?
I was trying to be considerate.
How?
Don't make much noise.
Well, that fucking lasted 2 seconds, eh? I did actually mean to bring the torch here too, but it was actually light enough. Well, white enough. Right. Right, so yellow red. Yellow red. Yellow brown to yellow brown. Right, what we got? What do we have? Coming back to that, coming back to that. Right, just coolant temp stuff now. Got pin 39 and 38. 39 signal coolant temperature outlet. This is at the bottom radiator hose at the driver's side, if it's a UK car. Ground coolant temperature outlet. Right, so we'll go for 38 first, which is black green. Well, there's an air one, because there's an air black green here too on the grey plug, which is for to switch on the fan. So there's an air cutter wires that's the same colour that you have to watch out for. Right, so he was 38 to 19. Same your age, Grand Baron. 19. small guy. Is it 19, 19? Ah, 19. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And what does the other one say? I've got to double check this first. Pin 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. I've done it. I fucked it.
You fucked that again?
Aye.
What do you mean?
Because the one that come out of pin 6 is already fucking connected. So he carrying that. But I think I tell you what, I think it's the fan activation one, because fan activation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's black green, right? I think I've confused it with 9. 8. Is it? 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Aye. Right, so from the black green on this side, you connect it to this. Fuck's sake. Fuck's sake. So this black green, right? It says it was fan activation. Of 2. Electric cooling fan, pin 8. So I managed to connect that to fucking the wrong fucking thing like a retard. What a dumbass, man. Four to 8. So that's where I went wrong. I've took the wrong way here somehow. I've took the one opposite that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Signal electric fan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So the signal electric fan was 8 to 4. Fuck knows how I managed to pick out the wrong one. I've actually fucked that right up. Fuck's sake, man. Aye, man, what the fuck? I wrote it down in the diagram, right, okay, but I just connected it up wrong. I must have picked the wrong fucking, the pin next to it instead, like a fucking retard.
Edit that out.
Mate, I'm not editing nothing. Like you can see that, like I didn't care. You can see fuck ups. I didn't care. I literally didn't care. But what the thing is, I've caught it now, because even if you did put one in the wrong place, by the time you go to get the one that should be there, you go like, oh fuck, There's where it came from.
Aye,
Get what I mean?
you would catch it eventually.
Aye, because you're going to pick one, you've got to try and pick one on pin 7 and pin 7's been used, and you've got to backtrack and go, oh, it's fucking wrong. Came what I've done.
Aye.
See, because the one off the new ECU is black green. When I've roughly counted it, I'm like, that's that black green there, but it's actually no, because on the new chassis, remember we were looking at your Cartier, and you had the black with the red with the dots on it?
Yep.
That's the switch on the fan, but you're new a viscous fan, so it's different.
Oh, is that what that was?
Aye, that's it.
Oh, right, okay.
So the colours didn't really match there, but the description, like, if the colour doesn't match, the description will match. Right, so that brings me back to this black green, which then goes to this fucking black green, which still went there all along. Dumbass! But I'm not editing nothing out, because what's the point? Everybody makes mistakes. Right, so last one that goes to the ECU plug. Then I'll do a solder and then we'll cover what doesn't go to the ECU plug. Right, so pin 39 to number 6. Because if I read this right, pin pin what did I just do? Pin 38 it is. 38 to 19. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. What? Sound. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Colour match again. I thought it fucked up again, but no. Right, so that's my covered everything on this plug. The only thing I've no used here is pin 17. Alright, man. We'll go for that way. So 14, pin 15. Pin 15, which is EWS. I've got an EWS deleted ECU, so I'm no using this. So what I will do, I will chop it off and I'll just cover it up. Not used. I mean, I've got one on the ECU plug that I didn't care what happens with. So I'm going to time lapse again and solder these wires, then we'll come back to the wires that's no on the plug. Right, so what I'm left with here is aircon. This one says it's for multi-function steering wheel. Right, so I've got a black with a blue stripe for aircon trigger, right? I've got a blue with a black stripe, which says it's for data link multi-function steering wheel. I've got wake up ECU for pin 26 and I've got OBD wire. Right, so if you look to here, OBD wire is there, white purple, right? I have pin this one here is black with blue. I've already beeped into the aircon relay, so that's aircon switch on, and then this is the power that comes back out when you've got to power the aircon. On a 6-cylinder car, this wire actually stays inside the car and comes out round there, so I'm actually going to add a pin to this in the right fucking place and just extend the wire across with the coil pack harness so it has aircon. It also, while I'm here, this one here, pin 5, that's oil level sensor, like signal to the dash, and I'm wondering, because I have one pin left on the ECU and the colours kind of match, that's like grey blue, right, and this one's grey blue. I'm not going to connect them now, I'm going to get the car running and I'll actually connect them and see if I've got actual power to the oil level sensor. But also what I have to do, this brown green on the 6-pot loom on pin 2, I need to give that power. So I've got somewhere for that. I'm going to cover that now. So here, because this loom was auto, this is the plug that should plug in there, right? But I've took his plug off his 1.8 car, one, because it houses the wire to wake up the ECU, which is in pin 1 on the 3-pin plug, the 4-pin plug, right? So that's got to wake up the ECU to my pin 26, right? Because if you'll see here, that has 4 wires on it. A 6-pot only has 3 wires on it. A green white, a blue yellow, and a red white. So when these main relays wake up, this red white takes power inside the car and it powers up the relay for fuel pump and the relay for aircon. So the last time I done this, right, I actually used the green white off the reverse switch to power the switch to ECU basically. So this time I'm going to use the right one for to wake up the ECU, right, because I've stripped his loom and I understand it better. Well, every day's a school day, I'm still learning stuff as I go, even though I can what to do and that shit. But there's always a better way to do stuff, eh? Anyways, so every day's a school day. So on this one, instead of using this one to wake up the ECU, I'm going to tap this green and white into this green brown on pin 2. This gives power to this gives a switch live to the alternator and the oil level sensor. I'm not wanting the alternator burning out. We can't get the battery light to work in this, so that blue one is irrelevant. So I'm going to go ahead and make the last connections. I'm unsure how I'm going to do this part, but yeah, give me a minute and I'll come back. At any time I've got to add pins to this plug, de-pin that and bring it up to here, so I'll just sit and I'll work that out and I'll film the next part. Right, so I've just went ahead and extended these wires that I've got left here, right? So I'm left with black blue, aircon, white purple, OBD, green purple, wakes up ECU, and I've got the blue with the black line, which is for the steering wheel, right? So in here, what I've just realised here, right, see this one to wake up the ECU, I'm going to de-pin it in here and connect it here, because if I connect it into the other side of this plug for to power the ECU, if you ever take the engine out of the car, you need to cut a wire. I don't like that. And then here on this plug, we have this one here, which is the switch for aircon, which is that, right? So I've got to de-pin that as well. We have this white purple, which is OBD, so I'm going to de-pin them out this plug and connect them to there. And then what I've just discovered there is when I'm in here, that on the other side, I have a skinny blue with a black line, which I think is going to tally up to this. And also another discovery that I made, which I'm not going to connect right now, but this last pin that was on pin 13, it's grey blue, right? In colour sense, it matches up to oil level sensor. So I'm going to try that later once the car's running and see if I can get the oil level sensor working. And also, I need to take a switch live to this, because this powers switch live to alternator and switch live to the oil level sensor. If you didn't switch the live to the alternator, you could fry the alternator, it could burn itself out fast. So I think I'm just going to tap power into this green white here, which is for the reverse switch. It's live when the key is on, but the power is only used when the reverse switch is activated, so I didn't see it overloading the system or that. So I'm going to go ahead and depin these, connect all these up. I'm going to leave this till later, the black blue steering wheel one, I'm going to leave that till later, so I'm making 3 connections here. Aye, two to the 8-pin plug and 1 to there. I'm going to go ahead and make the connections now. So I'll just set the camera up and I'll just fucking leave it recording while I do that. And you listen to Connor there with his fucking ratchet making a noise at the top of my video and prick. What are you even doing, Connor? What are you doing?
Engine mounts, mate.
What you just done to your car?
330 swap, mate.
Aye, what was it before?
2 litre, mate.
2 litre diesel. What happened to it?
Boom.
Turbo.
Boom.
The turbinator killed itself.
Everything was soaking.
She dead.
She dead. She very dead.
She very dead. Right, where's my wee guy? Huh?
Good laugh, though.
Good laugh. Do you hate to shove at him? It was some laugh, so it was. East of Mombasa. Alright then, I'm not got a deep in you, I'm going to fucking cut the bottom right off you. Right, so there's green. I've got a line for that. Right, OBD wire, wake up ECU and aircon. OBD wake up aircon, hello. solder they three. I'll keep that one at the new. I want that one for this. This one is going to be the other blue plug there, but I'm not going to connect it just yet. I'll keep that just in the bay. I'll connect it later and report back that it works or it doesn't. So solder. Quite tight the solder in the fucking box too. You got the knuckle hang on that, eh? So what are you doing? You taking that thing home and you're taking the work van home?
I'll take this home, this thing home.
Right, this is where I'm at. One wire left for ECU, which is steering wheel, that says. That's no used, that's EWS, we're doing EWS delete ECU. I've left this one, this was the skinny blue-black. I think that's going to tally up to this, but I'm going to check it once it's running. This, I have suspicion it's oil level sensor, which I'm going to deepin it out of here and just connect that, this one, the grey-blue, which is pin 5. Got to just connect that straight to there. I'll do that after. And then this one, I'm gonna, when I plug this in, because this leaves with the engine, I'm just going to tap into that with that one that I just showed you, because this all leaves when you lift the engine out. This all leaves with the engine, so I'll do that. But I'm pretty sure I've got to do that. I'm going to put all the stuff in the ECU hole, and I've got to get a test fire, show it running and that, and then I'm going fucking home because it's Friday. I'll do me a digging on Monday, and I'll see what works and what doesn't, and we'll go for there, pick up for there on Monday, because it's like Friday, and it's like, what time is it, Connor? 3 o'clock? Coming up for 4? Fucking Jesus. Aye, definitely home time, like. I've got a couple of wee wires soldered, I'll show you it running, and then I'm fucking packing my shit up and going home. I'll pick back up on Monday again, and I'll test and see if the steering wheel controls work and stuff like that. See what doesn't work inside the car. I'm sure doing this swap, the only thing that you will not get working somehow is like the battery light, because the battery light is done by CAN, but we didn't mind that. On Connor's car the battery light stays on, but I think on these cars the battery light doesn't even illuminate at all, so we'll tackle that as it comes. But I'm going to put everything in the hole, make sure I'm all connected up, and get a test fire and stuff like that, and we'll fucking see what happens. And we're going for first start, hot start.
Aye. First start, definitely.
Any power steering fluid left? Well, the big bottle's power steering fluid too.
No, I'm not.
No.
No, the reason I said that I was going to get you moved from 46 to do next week, but I'll get some movement at the time. Yeah, see if my coolant levels low, the lights will come on.
Aye, because it's got the thing in the bottle. Did you plug the bottle back in? Remember, it's got you plugging the bottle in the bottle.
Yeah, I'm sure that.
Every bottle has that plug. If it's got the plug, it'll tell you your coolant's low. Aye, was that radiator eating hingies like?
Well, I think there's one here.
So I've just hit a reset because the battery's been off. I've just hit a reset the airbag light. There is no water squishers in it now, so that light's obviously on because it can't pick that up. So far, everything good. When I first flicked the key there, I didn't think the temp gauge was going to work because it stayed down low, but it's working. I need to put this back together too. Sorry Gav, I had to take your car to bits. This is because I was beep testing. I'll show you the new. It was just to figure out the aircon thing, because this is the aircon relay here. So I had to beep test this black blue wire and then figure out how it put power back out, but it actually simplifies it on this for me. So now that it runs, I just have to tidy up my wire, and obviously I've got that to tape up, tidy up. I need to find an airbox for it because it comes with an airbox, this engine, when I bought this engine. I'm going to trial this on Monday and see if I can make that work. I've also still to go and plug the reverse switch in and stuff like that, but if you follow this diagram that I've made for you guys, every time I make diagrams and stuff, I I'll always have this in a Google Drive, and there'll be a link in the video to get to the Google Drive to find out all the documents and diagrams that are used for it. So I need to bleed it up, bleed it for water, bleed it for power steering, is to get a service before it goes away as well. So I want it nice and hot. I'm not going to be doing that today. I still need to put his bottom cover back on it, which obviously it came from an N46, which is an oil leaker. So I need to take this out and pressure wash it. When I'm finished with it, obviously I'll be taking it out and pressure washing the bay and stuff like that. So final parts of the job now. Obviously these things take a lot longer when I'm making videos for you guys, but at least if somebody asks me stuff or whatever, I don't have to sit and tell them stuff or write out diagrams and stuff for them, because I could just send them a link all the time, but they just go and watch a video, and you can understand it better if you actually watch a video. That's the way I see it. Perfect, happy days. I'll come back to this on Monday. I'll see what the deal is with getting the steering wheel working. I'll drive it along the yard and make sure this kind of stuff works. I think that, obviously this is going to work because that's just stereo stuff. So volume's got to go up and down in that as it should. But I'm sure that the blue black wire is mainly for like stuff like this. Well, right now it's not doing nothing. So hopefully get that working for him, because it's a road carrier. I'd rather everything was working nice for the guy. So I'm going to end this video here. When I come back Monday, I'm not finished the video, but it's like Friday 4 o'clock. I usually go home early on a Friday, but so when I come back Monday, I'm going to go and do a couple of trial and errors with these couple of wires that I've got left, see if I can get the oil level sensor and that back to working and stuff like that. I'll switch it off the new and get a minute and let you see oil pressure and that working. But yeah, because this is a 6, like if this was just a 4-cylinder plug and play car, the engine would work fine. Shut up. Then the battery light would work fine, but because it's a 6-cylinder swap to a car that needed wired up, the battery light is done by CAN, so the battery light doesn't even illuminate now. We have no, it goes on and comes off, straight off. And then there's our oil pressure light, which will go away when we fire it up. Oil pressure, boom, job done. Yeah, so I'm going to come back to this on Monday, finish off, take it a drive, report any more findings to you guys so you could do the swap to a good job like this. I've obviously tidied up my wiring, but I'll tape up with loom tape and stuff like that. I'll tape up with loom tape when the job's actually complete, and it'll look, it's not messy, but it fits in the box. But I'll actually tape this up so it's just one big. Obviously I need to find out what I'm doing with this before I tape it up, and see if this oil level sensor is going to work for me, how I think it may, and yeah, just take it for there. Right, have a good weekend guys, speak Monday. What's happening guys? So, well, it's actually Tuesday, not Monday, right? But I figured I wouldn't touch this car yesterday because I was waiting on oil to service it, so when I've finished actually running it up to temp, I can put it on the ramp for tomorrow and drain the oil out. I like to drain oil out. I'll go home tonight and leave the sump plug off it for the full night to get all the oil out. I'm quite fussy that way. So since I was messing about yesterday, I had an ECU to map for somebody, so I mapped one for this, and since I have put a map on the ECU and reset adaptations and stuff, my suspicions were correct. This blue black wire, the last wire I had to connect from this ECU, which was cruise control, you'll find it on this 8-pin plug here, being pin number 5. The colours do match up, although it's a darker shady blue on the black, but the cruise control buttons do actually work, so I'm going to go ahead and solder that just now. I've kind of started to tape my wires together here just now, but when I'm finished I'll tape right down it. So I'm going to go and solder this to new. I also have my cruise control, which I need to add to this, so I've stole this off the 1.8 loom, and that's basically going to go into pin 8 on here. So I'll click that in when I'm ready, and I'm going to tuck it through the loom so I can run it up across the engine, because on a 6-cylinder car it actually comes out the driver's side. So I'm going to solder this wire new and tidy my wires up, put the ECU and that back in the box. And the only other thing I want to do is this, the green wire which come out of pin 2 on this black 8-pin plug. It's green with brown. This is power to oil level sensor and power to alternator for to excite the alternator. I didn't want the alternator burning out, so what I'm going to do with this one, I'm just going to kind of tap it into the top of the green and white which activates the which is a switch live for the reverse switch. I'm just going to tap into that. As I said before I actually realised that pin 1 on this 4-pin plug was wake up ECU, I used to actually switch power to ECU by this green and white. 2 seconds. Yeah. I used to actually use this 4-pin plug here. I used to use the green and white on here for to switch the ECU on, but obviously the more you do, the more you learn. Like Jimmy always says, every day is a school day. So, and he's right enough, every day is a school day. Always learning something new. Right, let's get this wire soldered, and then I'll tape up the loom. I'll put the ECU back in the box. I'll add my aircon wire. And when it's on the ramp, I still need to plug in my reverse switch, because if you remember, this engine is auto, so it's not got a plug for reverse or stuff. So I've added that from his old chassis, so he gets his reverse lights not working. Like I said, it's a road car, so I want it working as good as possible. Like everything working. If it was a drift car, it wouldn't be getting this far extent. It would be wired enough to run, switch a fan on and stuff like that. But since this is a road car, I've made sure aircon's working. I've made sure cruise control and stuff's working. Just going that extra mile. Plus, it means I can document it a bit better for you guys, because so far the stuff that I've read online is absolutely garbage. So I do this kind of stuff all the time for a job, for people, for myself. So if I'm unsure about something, I'll have scrap cars here, right? And if I'm just taking this 3-litre engine out of this car, by the time I'm finished breaking this car into parts, I actually strip the full wiring loom out of a car for scrap, just for scrap value and stuff like that. So when it comes to it, if there's a wire that I'm unsure of that's in this ECU box here, I will trace it all the way back to, say, the clocks or the body control module, just so I understand what it does. And the better I understand what it does, the better I can make you understand what it does. And then it's actually easier to go ahead and do some wiring yourself. Although you might say, oh, I don't like wiring and whatever, the more you understand about it. I never used to like wiring too, would you actually believe that? No, actually, I love wiring. How times change. The more you learn, the more you know. Every day is a school day, like Jimmy for the hypertext says. It's really awkward to solder inside this box, but come on, baby. Yes. Right. Right, so I think I'm just going to time lapse for here on out. I'm going to take this stuff up so it looks tidier. I'll put my ECU back in the box, I'll plug everything in. The only other thing to do, I'm going to add this to pin 8, which is up here. I'll add that to pin 8 here. I'm going to jump this to power to my green and white. But I think I'll just time lapse it, because I've already double checked the video and we're like an hour long already. I like to make these as short and sweet as possible, but at the same time, I like to make you understand what everything's doing and stuff like that, so that you feel confident in attacking a job like this yourself. So I'm sorry the video ends up being as long as it is, but as I said, I've got to make you understand. And this job, I actually got this job in 2 Mondays ago, and it could have been done in 3 days if I wasn't actually documenting this for people who's going to watch it, like whoever's liking and watching and that, so I get if this video has been helpful to you. If it's got to help one of your friends, please like, share, and maybe drop a subscribe. Plenty more videos like this to come. As I work on these things all the time, and I don't mean sharing information to people. You got any questions, ask me questions in the comments. I have YouTube notifications on. I didn't do notifications for anything except Facebook Messenger. I didn't do notifications for being tagged and stuff like that, but my YouTube does ping my phone straight away, and I pretty much do reply straight away. So I'm going to stop this here now, and I'm going to just time lapse the rest of it. By the time we get to the end of it, I will show you the cruise control and stuff like that working in the car. and I will go and rectify my diagram, the diagrams that I've got, and make you understand them a little better to what each pin does in this 8-pin plug on the chassis side versus this side. But like the first few are plug straight across and works. So we've got oil light, plugs right in and works. Start feedback, this, when you turn the starter, it deactivates all the relays inside the car so that the starter can get the full power of the battery to start the car. That plugs right across and works. The actual fat black wire, which is the start, when you turn the key, this is like a 12 volt right to the starter for to turn the starter. That all works straight across. So the only thing that we're not getting working on this car is battery light and oil level sensor, but that's fine because we're men, we dip the oil like men. If you didn't ken your car needs oil, then you shouldn't have a car. Simple as that. You should be doing checks every 2-3 days, once a week, once every couple of weeks, minimum. And more if you have an oil leak, but we're not leaking oil, so that's the way I work. I run an E46, so we've not got oil level sensors. You dip the oil once a week and that's it, like a man. So aye, that's pretty much that covered. So I'm going to time lapse it now. I've got to get the ECU back in the hole. I'm just going to stop chatting now. Let's get this fucking done. Time to get this job away. Right, so that's me all soldered up, taped up, plugged in, blah blah blah. What I'm going to say here is I've got you get a blank, a wee blank, so because I've had to add this reverse switch, I'm going to use this to bring my reverse wires through. I'm going to get the ECU cover and I'm just going to go ahead and cover it up because that's me done in here. I'll leave that dangling down there so when I go underneath the car I can plug that into the reverse sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on. I'll actually give you a quick look at this wire now. So all I'm left to do now, I'm going to go outside to a scrap car and I'm going to go and get the plug that plugs into the aircon. I'm going to bring that across here as tidy as I can and just tuck it down round there and obviously down to the aircon down there. So this is what I've got in the ECU hole. There's my wire here, which is all extended. The long part's there, I've just left tucked in the back. And like I say, I've tapped into this green and white so that the alternator gets excited when you put a switch live to it. So I'm going to get the cover and put the cover on. And what I will say, if you go to look at one of these cars that's going to be for an engine swap or whatever, and you don't know whether to tell if it's going to have a 2-plug ECU or no, you know what the actual telltale is, right? See the screws holding down the lid? On a normal BM, it's a 5-plug ECU. What I've figured is 5mm Allen key, and a 5mm Allen key for to hold the ECU cover on, and if it's a 2-plug ECU, it's actually Torx, like a T25 core, T20, T25. Like so, T20 torque. Might have another one lying about. This is the one for the car that I took off, took the engine from, 5mm Allen key. I think I actually have a 5mm Allen key out, so I'm just going to fuck the system up, and this is going to go in here with the 5mm Allen key one. That's not going to work because there's a difference too. The ones that house the Allen keys, they have like inserts in the box. So I'll put the battery on a second and I'll show you everything that you've seen last time, but this time the cruise control buttons is going to work. I had a mate saying to me before too that he was wanting to buy an engine off me, but he wanted the ABS pump and stuff and that. He's like, oh, it's coded, and I'm like, but it's no. I've never had an ABS issue with any of these two, and I'll show you what I'm talking about now. I'm going to put the battery on and fire it up. Right. So I'll stick the battery on and I'll take you inside the car. Oh, fuck's sake. Right, so cruise control, no problem. If there was a problem with ABS, obviously this wouldn't work. Right, also if you didn't know this, with a BMW, if you hold this for 10 seconds, this light comes on but in yellow, and that puts absolutely everything off. So that's traction control off, but if you hold it, that's me holding it, boom, it brings on that light as well, and that's absolutely everything off. No driving aids, no garbage, no nothing. So that's me left with, I just need to fit this aircon wire. I need to build up this stuff because I was in here chasing wires to see what the deal is with the aircon. So the aircon blue-black signal comes in there, and then it's put back out in that pin that I've just added there. So yeah, I seem to be a lot better off than a lot of the other guys that try to show you how to do this when they're showing you wrong pins and stuff today. So I'm going to put these top covers on here. I'm going to get this wire to extend round here. I'll tuck it down there. I'm going to get the other side of the wire so it actually plugs into my aircon unit. And yeah, that's pretty much us. What I will do, I will go back to the diagram shortly, and I will just update parts of it that's got me to where I am now. So far I have every wire used on the new ECU. On the old ECU plug I have 2 wires not used, and it's not causing me any issues, and it won't cause me any issues. I have the main things working. So because it's a road car, it's going to be, he's going to have aircon, he's going to have cruise control. I've made myself a bit of diagram. You guys and stuff will bring me loads of views by showing your mates and stuff like that, because I think it's pretty hard to find some info online about this stuff, right? And see, when you do find info, people just tell you pin 1 new ECU to pin 19 old ECU and stuff like that. And the one that I read, it was like utter garbage. If you'd followed that one, your engine would be fried already. Right, so I'm going to finish this pretty much here. I'll finish this here. I'm going to go and finish building up a couple of things. Do the aircon part and stuff like that. The aircon's just a straight wire. But the wire on my car is going to be black and white, black and grey. But I'm just going to basically be soldering my wire to here that's long enough to just come round underneath there, so it's like tidy and tucked away, and then into the aircon pump, which is right there, which you can't see the new, but I'll get the torch. Your wee aircon plug, if you see it there, between the 2 pipes, that wee black guy, I'm just going to be hooking into there. And I'm going to tape up this bit of loom so it's no one just odd grey wire hanging about there. I like nice and tidy. But that means I can finish up my engine covers and stuff like that. And I'll show you a wee video at the end before I actually finish it. But I'm sorry the video's been so long, guys, but I'm doing my best here. Just to keep you well informed and everything, the right things to do, what to watch out for and stuff like that. But if you stayed to as far in as this, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. I'll speak soon. So that's me, ECU cover on, top covers on, aircon wire done, aircon wire plugged in. I'm going to go and build up the glove box before I stick it on the ramp. I'll build up the glove box, get on the ramp, heat it up, drop the oil out of it, and I'll be going home for today. I'll come back tomorrow with an oil filter. I have 1060 manual there. It's the only stuff that I use in BMWs pretty much. 1060 manual. I'll put that in tomorrow morning, I need to try and get an air box for it, and then I need to wash the bay, and then the guy can get it back. Once I've had a quick test drive and cleared it for codes and stuff like that, I need to reset that airbag light that's come on. Aye, so that's it, tip top. I'll get the engine bay washed for him and get it back to him. I'll maybe make add a wee quick bit in later, just to the engine bay actually being clean. How engine bays leave every time I do an engine swap job here. They don't leave all manky and dirty, they leave like a brand new car. So I'm going to finish up here now and go and do the glove box before I actually go home, get out on the ramp, drain the oil, leave the plug out until I come back tomorrow with an oil filter. I'll hit to phone an oil filter now in fact, so yeah. So that's me finished. Just took it a drive and stuff. I'm just going to wash the engine bay now while it's warm. I went and picked up an airbox this morning for it, so it wasn't incomplete. I would have hated to put a filter on this car, just because it's like a stock road car, it's not a drift car or that. So I'm just going to set my camera stand up there. I'm just going to a wee time lapse of the engine bay wash. I'll do that. And I'll show you how we go for this to what's next. What a car this has turned out to be. So, we all clean, we all dry. I did leave the engine idling when I was blowing it dry. You can just let them idle and let them evaporate, but I like to blow them dry because obviously this car's probably going away tomorrow, so I need to go and put shiny stuff on it now, but what a car, what a car. Really clean car. It's actually made me like E46s, and I'm pretty shocked to see it because I'm not an E46 man, I just work on them. Right, time to get the magical stuff out and make the bay shiny. Let's do that. Probably just time lapse this as well, so bear with me. Is she dry enough? Get a couple of bits up there you want. I always like to use this, make sure this is all like actually dry before you go spraying this stuff on. The magic stuff. I think this is clean, wait till you see it next. This is like the Jimmy signature. This is why Jimmy gets the jobs. Because the end result is like almost unbeatable. I'll probably time lapse this next bit, guys, and like I'm sorry the video's actually getting that long, but we're here and as well showing you, like holding you, like stick out to the end, wait till you see the end result. And obviously you've kind of watched me doing this, so you know you can go and attack this kind of job yourself. Only thing I will say, when you go to pressure wash it, if you have an induction kit, take the car round to wash it, have it up to temp so it's hot, and before you go pressure washing it, turn the car off and just put a poly bag and a zip tie round the air filter. Apart from that, if it's got a standard airbox and that, you can literally wash anything in here as long as the car is turned off and it'll be fine. Obviously, when I wash it, I'll go and wash the car and let some of the stuff evaporate and that. And it fired up first time and drove around here after I was done. So I'm going to go mix up a bottle of shiny stuff and I'm going to go to town on it with that. Yeah, so I've got a time lapse this bit, guys. Finished result. Boom. Clean and shiny. Ready for collection. That's the type of job you want to be sending out the door all the time. A nice tidy job. If you can't take pride in your work, stay in your bed. Anyway guys, I know it's been a long video, so thanks very much for watching. If this video was helpful to you in any way, like, share, subscribe, show your friends, leave me a comment, tell me what you want to see next. I'm always working on BMs and stuff like that. Tell me what I can help you with. We'll see you in the next video hopefully. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching. See you later on guys.